Now, Nyami-Nyami, it's a sculptural installation and sound performance by the Zebra Collective. It's created by renowned artist Masimba Hwati as well as Gould. And the work explores the cultural and ecological trauma that was caused by the construction of the Kariba Dam, highlighting its enduring effects on the Tonga people and environment at large. Now, the showcase happened on the 28th of June and provides deeper insights into the powerful, alluring art. Masimba Hwati now joins us virtually to chat a little bit further. Very good morning. Thank you for your time on the SABC at this hour.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Perhaps for those who are not familiar with the history of the Kariba Dam, perhaps the influence as well upon your conceptual approach to the Nyami-Nyami, to talk to us a little bit more to provide context.
So some of our viewers might know that the Kariba Dam is the fourth largest river in Africa, and a big part of it runs through Zimbabwe. And in 1955, the colonial government decided to put a dam for their own colonial enterprises. But this dam came with a heavy price on not only on the people, the Tonga people living in the Zambezi area, but also the environment. And now what our research is doing and our artistic practice is looking at some of those effects, and we are artists, we are not environmentalists, so we are thinking poetically, and asking important questions as to what is the future of our ecological welfare. How do we respond to these colonial constructions that have devastating effects today, and how do we as a community think through these complications.
And thank you for providing that context. Beyond the displacement of people and also wildlife, I wonder if we could look at the installation, how it incorporates, cultural symbolism and narratives as well. How does it aim to preserve that, given what's happened?
So our installation focuses on Nyami-Nyami, who is the river god of the Tonga people. And we are rethinking Nyami-Nyami not only as a myth, but as a symbol of resistance, cultural resistance, but also as a symbol of the resistance of nature. Because if you know the story of Nyami-Nyami, Nyami-Nyami was resisting the construction of this dam. And the history of the construction of the Kariba Dam has a lot of tremors and catastrophes that happened during the construction. And part of it was that Nyami-Nyami was pushing back. So what we are doing is looking into culture and looking into tradition and looking at symbolism that empowers people to have agency to think and at some point to resist certain colonial structures that do not really benefit the community and the ecology.
And also this installation is multi-sensory because you integrate sound elements as well to evoke that ecological and that cultural trauma that you're trying to obviously so aptly describe through your piece. Tell us a little bit more about that, even your collaboration with Gould.
So Gould is the other half of Zebra Collective. Unfortunately, he's still flying into Johannesburg as we speak. We started working together in Berlin in 2022. And sound is a very big part of the installation and the performance. And we are aiming to have a multi-sensory experience to the viewers. In our installation, there is water and there is sand. We are playing musical instruments. We are activating the installation in so many ways. So when the audience come in, they not only hear, they see, and sometimes they get to smell some of these elements that we are playing around with.
Okay, I'm even just looking at the dialogue that you then aiming to, encourage through this installation. to ensure that environmental justice, at least comes to the fore, and that we also preserve cultural memory. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that? But in the same breath, the challenges that you would have also had to incur in really translating such complex trauma.
Right. So I think our job as artists is to ask questions.
Sure.
Tough questions, and we believe that in involving the community and asking these questions, somehow we inspire political will, for people to start thinking about these traumas, to start thinking of ways to address this. We are very interested in conversations with community, with grassroots people, but also maybe with politicians and policymakers. But our job is to ask questions. And I think we do that in several ways through this installation.
Masimba, I just wanted to wrap up looking at how you envision the audience, engaging with this installation during the walkabout, the performances at large. How should, one best prepare ahead of this installation? And what conversations are you also aiming to evoke through that as we continue it? It doesn't end through this installation. Of course, we're looking at displacement, ecological resilience, trauma, collective memory, cultural memory. There really is a plethora.
Correct. Thank you for the question. So I think the only preparation that we ask is come with an open mind. There are some familiar things in the installation like guitars, instruments, and drums, but we are going to be playing these things in unfamiliar ways. So we are going to defamiliarize some of these things, to try and get the audience to a place of to challenge them a little bit, and see what conversations come out of that as we proceed. Of course, we will have more conversations after that, but I think we are aiming just to initiate some kind of conversation at this point.
Well, Masimba, thank you so much for your time. You're the SABC and for weighing in. Wishing you all the best of luck, of course. Masimba Hwati joining us there virtually, chatting about Nyami-Nyami. Of course, that exhibition or installation rather happening next week at 44 Standy, come the 28th of June.